always envisioned a minimal color palette when it comes to your custom planner design. Or maybe you will love the idea of incorporating colorful navigational tabs, design elements, full color bleeds, what have you. The use of color in your overall design can dictate the aesthetic and feel of a planner. But before you dive into adding all sorts of colors and bells and whistles, there's a few things that you should consider before completing your design. And today I'm going to dive into 3 factors you should consider when adding color to your planner design. Let's dive in. Hey there, I'm Heather Harris, founder of Copper Bottom Design Co., a boutique product development agency that specializes in planner design and overseas manufacturing. Today we're going to talk about color. And I know minimalistic design is all the rage these days, but you can still have color in a minimal design. You just use it sparingly and tastefully to draw the eye to certain elements, but not be overbearing. It's a fine line. It's a happy little dance between color and no color to get it just right. It's interesting that minimal design seems like it's a lot easier than a design that has a ton of elements and color, but it's actually really difficult to achieve a purely minimal design that's tasteful and that everybody loves. But I digress. Let's dive into those 3 elements to consider when adding color to your planner design. Number 1 is cost. The use of color can drastically change the overall price of your production run. For instance, one color printing is the least expensive option, and that makes sense, right? You're only printing one color. One color printing also achieves that cleaner, minimalistic aesthetic that everybody's going for these days. When you start to incorporate 2 or more colors into your design, the cost will increase, as does the complexity of the design. So keep that in mind. You really need to keep your budget in mind when choosing colors. The second thing to think of is the specific planning system that you have and that is in your planner. If your specific planning philosophy and system in the planner has specific days or routines that people need to follow, consider using color as a way to differentiate those areas of the routine or the planning system. For example, if your planning system has somebody going through a routine morning, afternoon, and evening, consider color coding the morning area one color, the afternoon another color, and the evening another color. That will help the user block off those areas of time to add that specific routine into. It kind of helps the mind separate those areas and guide them through the planning system. And here's a tip. If you love the idea of color, but you have a budget in mind and you can't afford to add more colors, you can kind of cheat. And I love this. You can use one color, but different shades or gradients of that color. So you can have 100% of the color, 50%, 20%, and that tricks the eye into thinking they're different colors because obviously they look different on the page, but it's still the one color printing. So keep that in mind in your design. The third thing to consider is your audience. And now this is crucial because clearly there are feminine and masculine colors out there in the world and color themes that gear more towards like children or teens as well. So when choosing your color palette, if you want your planner to be a general planner for all ages and all genders, then consider a more neutral palette. This will help make your planner attractive to a larger audience. And if you have an audience of people that love to decorate their planner with like stickers and washi tape and all the things, then a minimal color palette could be very helpful because then they can choose which colors and decorations to add into it, making that planner more specific to their unique taste. Now that we've gotten the color schemes and themes out of the way, let's dive a little bit deeper into the one color opposed to a full color printing and what that really means. One color printing refers to simply what it is. It's printing one color in the planner. This may be black or gray, which would be a shade of black, or one Pantone color, which is also called PMS. And these are color codes in the printing world where it's just one custom colored ink that you can choose from the bajillion colors that Pantone offers. Here's an example of a Pantone color swatch book, and you can see the color options are endless. One color color printing is the most conservative and clean option from a design standpoint and really helps create that minimalistic feel that a lot of people are going for. But one color doesn't have to be boring. Like I said before, you can take one color and use multiple shades of that color to add in some interest or those time blocking sections if that's part of your unique planning philosophy. 2 or 3 colors alludes to 2 or 3 colors, and you would be using those Pantone colors again. So you would pick 2 to 3 specific Pantone colors, and the printer would use those custom inks to print that design for you. This is a great option if you have imagery or illustrations, or again, your planner system really lends itself to being more useful if there's a second color incorporated in the design. You can also use 2 colors if you're really trying to drive home your branding of your business and have it be immediately recognizable as a product from your brand. If your brand uses 2 or 3 strong colors that are instantly recognizable, then go for it. Add those into the planner, because if you want that branding to remain strong across your planner design and your whole product line, then that lends itself to using the 2 or 3 colors. Full color printing is printing in all of the colors. It's C, M, Y, and K, and that's cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So if you have like a laser printer or a printer at home that has ink cartridges, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's 4 cartridges for that printer: the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So when you're printing those 4 colors, basically you're telling the printer, which is dictated through your design, to use all of those colors to come up with the specific colors that you incorporated in your design. This method is best if you have a lot of imagery that is photography that you want to be in full color, or illustrations that have many, many colors that would look flat or wouldn't really get their point across if they were only in one color. Now, full color printing is the most expensive, but sometimes the design really needs it in order to look great. Also, too, another tip, sometimes printing 2 color is just as expensive as printing 4 color. So check with your printer, because if you're really trying to save money, using 2 or 3 colors might not get you there. So you'll either have to pick one color or full color printing. So at the end of the day, choosing color in your planner design is really dictated by several factors. This includes your planning system, your cost, and your target audience. But the most important thing to remember when incorporating color into your design is this going to make this planner more unique and more useful for your target customer? That's the goal. If you keep your customers' needs at the forefront of your mind when you start designing, then it's going to be a no-brainer to you on what colors to use and how many. And if I've inspired you to kick off your planner design process, click the link in the description below. I've created a guide just for you that details the 5 things your planner must include in its design if it's going to sell. Grab the guide, and I'll see you next time.